welcome to American Beer TV.
Hey guys.
We're going to bring you some news today.
Yep.
On April the 26th.
Yep,
There's
it's been a big beer news day, today, and there's been a number of stories breaking. We used to do some news back in a while. We haven't done it in a little while, but we wanted to get back into it. So there's a number of stories in the news today, and we wanted to talk about them. First of all, I think the biggest one is, unfortunately, we're going to start off with some bad news, and then we'll work it up into some lighter stuff, is the fatal accident up at Redhook Brewing that caused the death of Ben Harris.
Yes, that's totally crazy.
Yes. So I saw this story the other day, and I definitely wanted to comment on it, put it out there, and say, just our hearts go out to the family of that.
Friends, family, co-workers, for us, in the industry, on this side of the industry, I've worked in breweries before. I know how dangerous it is and how hard it is to work at a brewery, and something like that is just totally unheard of. You don't really hear of weird stories all the time, but something like that is crazy.
Yeah.
So in reading the article, the one thing that kind of threw me off was the fact that it is a plastic keg that exploded, and it was not property of Redhook Brewing
That
Company
was one of
the Craft Brewers Alliance.
Right.
It was.
That was a new twist to the story that just kind of came out today.
Yeah.
And you had an opinion on this from your days.
Yeah. So I have one here. You can. This is what they look like. So this is, and I'm assuming that if it was a half barrel keg. So I hate these things. I hate these things with a freaking passion, because
we're not going to
when you
uses that one.
When you grab these, they cut your hands, and they have really weird seals. They're supposedly so you can stack on top of them, that you can stack other kegs on top of them. It's an American Sankey fitting. They're just really weird for me, but they have these weird rivets and stuff in them. I really have never liked these, and I always hate when they come into the restaurant and people have these things, and they just drive me nuts. So when I read that it was a plastic keg, it just freaked me out. I was like, holy smokes, I can't believe that's what popped. So
go ahead and set that back down. It feels like they're
really light. They're put together by like a couple different pieces and the rivets and stuff like that. I really don't think they're made very well.
Yeah, that makes sense that they would.
I've never liked them coming into the restaurant.
Yeah.
So
they said it's split into two pieces. And
yeah, I believe it. There's a seam right.
Yeah.
There's a seam right in the middle, and it's thick plastic. It's like it's almost like a 1/4 inch thick.
Yeah, but even at the pressure that you're going to get at, it doesn't matter really what it is. I mean, honestly, I thought it was a metal keg and one of those stainless steel. I just thought,
that amount of pressure is really crazy.
But even that still easily. So anyway, we had a little perspective on the type of keg. That's kind of a new thing, and anyway around, it's a horrible accident, and I hear his wife is pregnant with his unborn child, and there's a collection going on for that. In case you'd like to donate, I'm going to intend to donate a bit to that. And I'll put the notes in the link. I don't have the details on it right.
We'll put the links in our notes underneath our videos.
So we'll put that
on
in
our
there.
Website.
Yeah. So if you'd like to donate, we'd appreciate that, and we're going to take care of a little bit of that as well. So there you go. So that's the bad news. Now we get into a little bit better news. Let's go with something lighter. Let's talk about
the breweries are expanding.
Yes, there's quite a few stuff going on.
Man,
Three Floyds hit the news.
Three Floyds is one that really interests me, because Three Floyds started out as one of the smallest breweries around. They were teeny tiny. They were like a nano brewery, and it's hard to open. And slowly expanded, and just grassroots. They just bootstrapped their business, and they did it. And we're opening Redemption.
Yeah, Russian River Redemption. Just to have something to drink while we, you can't talk about beer this much and not drink one. So,
so Three Floyds is in Indiana, and they're gonna move or build a brewery in Chicago.
Yeah.
And another brewery, West Coast, is Lagunitas, and they're building a brewery in Chicago too. I think it's freaking great. I love that the Midwest is really starting to catch on. I mean, we're from California. I mean, there's been so many breweries, you know, from California and the Pacific Northwest through Oregon and Washington, that it's really nice. There was no, I mean, Goose Island's been around for a long time, but other than Goose Island, there hasn't been
Colorado,
too much going on. I mean, I know there's
bit.
brew pubs, you know, but as far as breweries that are able to distribute beer that everyone around the country can get their hands on and really enjoy, it's Chicago is kind of that next kind of craft beer city.
I think so.
Coming up, you know, we've got San Diego, San Francisco, Portland, all that. So
yeah,
really nice
even LA is
to
starting to.
Yeah, LA's we're getting there.
LA, Orange County, San Diego. But yeah, so it seems like, you know, Chicago's going to be definitely a town to watch. They've, you know, had some great, you know, all the Goose Island. I couldn't think of that one. Yeah, definitely great stuff. They're the first bourbon barrel aged beer that I ever tried and fell in love with. So
so throughout
cool.
other breweries throughout the Midwest, Bell's and Founders and that. It's so awesome that they make such good beer.
Right.
They're spreading the love across the country.
Exactly. So that's good news. And there's also rumors that Three Floyds is also going to try to go overseas and do a brewery in Europe with McKellar.
Yeah.
Tell me that's not a bitchin' combo.
Yeah, I just got a bottle of that.
Boo Goop.
Yeah. So that was one of the.
We'll be doing that one soon. So, but yeah, that would be absolutely bitchin'. It might be difficult to get some of their stuff over here, but if you needed another reason to run over to Europe, that's one. So.
Speaking of rare beers and beers across the country, how about the guy that's getting all kinds of shit for selling beer on eBay?
Oh yeah.
What's that guy's name?
It's like Andrew Jackson or something. I don't know. Let me. I'll look it up here. That's one of the things that this iPad is good for. You know, yeah, the guy's basically Adam Jackson. His name's Adam Jackson, and I'm gonna pull up his blog right now. So his blog is, I'm sure, is lighting up. He's on Beer Pulse and everything like that. Basically, what this guy did after reading his email and some various different opinions on the matter is just decided in December. He didn't know a whole lot about craft beer.
Yeah, he says he's new to the industry, and he saw what was happening on eBay. That guys are selling bottles for, you know, double or triple of what they paid for them. And hey, what a great idea! I'm gonna start selling bottles on eBay.
Yeah, according to him, he first just wanted to get into cellaring beer for his own benefit and be doing beer trades, and then he says he was saving up for a trip for India, and he spent like $11,000 on a beer cellar. And then something happened and he needed money. So he says he then looked at it and saw some people selling it, so he thought he could sell a little bit of it. This is his side of the story. However, you know, and he's trying to say he didn't make very much money. He sold like $900 worth and whatever. The fact of the matter is, from what we can totally see from his blog posts and from other people's Twitters and whatnot, is that he was very recently driving all the way around, going out to, what was that? Hill Farmstead, which apparently sounds like an absolute great brewery. We haven't had any of their stuff out here. And running up there and buying a bunch of really rare stuff and throwing it up on eBay. So there's even a Twitter from the guys from Hill Farmstead saying, "Hey, don't sell our beer on eBay anymore." You know.
Yeah, so they helped him out.
Yeah,
and they sold him a bottle of beer, and then he turned around and sold it for like $145 on eBay. So.
Yeah. Now, you know, as someone I've been to all of the Black Tuesday events the brewery's had so far. Knock on wood. And hopefully everyone they ever do. And I still have a couple bottles of Black Tuesday. We both have some, you know, Kenny's got a much bigger cellar than I do of beer set aside, but I mean, we both have some pretty awesome beers, and the concept of selling them is almost blasphemy to me. You know, I mean, that's not the point of it. I can understand trading and sharing some of these really cool beers you have with people that aren't able to get them. Of course, me personally, unless I'm there to experience that with them, you know, I love to turn people on to beers. I mean, if you know me and you hang out with me, you know one of my, you know, my biggest quotes is, "Here, try this." You know, that's so I understand sharing a beer. I don't understand the mercenary aspect of it, saying, "Oh, I'm going to cash in on this hype." It's like those guys who wait in line at 6 o'clock in the morning on Black Friday sales and whatnot, and they try to buy as many of the things at the price, you know, like, or right when the PlayStation comes out or whatever, or and then they just throw them up on eBay. It's, you know, I don't have any respect for that kind of a mercenary mentality. You know, I think it's shitty, and I think it's kind of sucks that it's infiltrated the beer geek community. You know, we just saw.
Well, I think the thing of it is, you know, my opinion is that, you know, I've been loving craft beer for a long time now.
Yep.
I know I don't look that old, but I'm old. And I've been selling beer for a long time. I've been involved in restaurants and breweries, and that's what I do today. That's how I make my living. I make my living selling food and beer. So, yeah, it's you need to have, like Bill said, you need to have that like one-on-one connection, and that's what craft beer is about. And you know, I've made friends with, you know, my distributors and my reps for the companies and the brewers and, you know, all that stuff, and that's real important to have that camaraderie. That's what craft beer is about. It's about the art of making something that nobody else has. That's why it's a craft, because every one of these breweries is unique and they make a unique product. And then you start getting these kind of fly-by-night people that just come in and they just want to, you know, be a part of the beer scene because it's like the trendy thing. It's like liking Radiohead just for the fact that they're Radiohead, and you have no idea what Radiohead is about or their music or
poser.
Anything like
being
that.
a poser, right? You know,
I hate posers.
Yeah. You know, and then, you know, we, I'm sure you know, if you've been following the beer community, you've seen some videos. There's a couple of videos posted about the new type of beer geek. This guy even posted it. They're hilarious. But it is, and we see that, and I think it's interesting as someone who calls himself a beer geek and someone who does a show like this. Yeah, we see a little bit of that in ourselves. Because we do think these beers are the shit, and we do get a little, I think sometimes we get a little overzealous in our desire to try to convert people. We're going on to a little bit of a separate topic than Adam Jackson or whatever his name was.
No, but I think that's the point. I think people who don't know see people like us, and we have a YouTube show and we talk about all these unique beers. They see, wow, they cashed in on it. I have customers all the time that come up to me and they say, wow, you have all these great beers, you know, that's where the money's at. You must be making a ton of money off it. I'm not. That's my business, but I'm not doing this to make money. If I wanted to make money selling beer, I would sell Bud Light all day long. The margin on selling that stuff is way better than the margin on selling craft beer, you know? So it's not about that. It's about having the best beer around, you know, and educating people and getting people turned on to it. Come to any one of our events and you'd find that out. So.
That's you know, and like, you know, I mean, those videos are a really fun and humorous look at some of the things, and there are people that I mean, talk about Pliny and how hoppy and the IPAs, and you know, I think we can all, as beer geeks, look back at a conversation that we've had and said, well, maybe I sounded a little bit like that guy. Dude, this is the hoppiest beer ever. I want that beer, you know. But
you probably watched some of our videos.
And you know, these guys are fucking beer douches or whatever. But we're not trying to be that way. You know, we do understand the concept of just buying a beer, taking it home, cracking it open, and just enjoying it, you know. And
we only do this once a week. Just you know, what happens to us the rest of the week?
Serious.
We still have to drink beer.
Yeah, and you know, we do one of the things that kind of reasons I did want to do the show is because, you know, when I bought some of these these really high-end beers. I think the very first one was like a Black Tuesday, the first Black Tuesday, and I didn't have a reason to open it. I said, I'm going to open this on this event, Christmas, and Christmas came and went. And I went on, I'll open it for my birthday, and that came and went. And no event was special enough. And the reason why I wanted to do the show is because it enables me to share it, not only share it with everybody who watches it, but also for me to go back and relive that myself. I've documented that. I've documented that event and my ideas of it and kind of relive it. Right. And I think that's kind of cool. And I think that's kind of the thing with all of us in the craft beer industry, is that that's kind of what this whole thing is about. That if you can drink, pale lager all day long, and you always have the same experience over and over and over again. But drinking craft beer, you can have a new experience with every new beer that you open, And that's what's so cool. I mean, just look at Rate Beer. I'm so amazed at some of the guys on Rate Beer, and they've tasted like 3,500 beers. Yeah. Some guys have tasted like 5,000 beers, and I'm like, I don't think I've tasted a ton of beer, and I don't think I've tasted over 3,000 different kinds of beer. Yeah, no, I hear
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And for people, it's so cool, for people to document that, and they make that, like, Rate Beer or Beer Advocate their journal as to, what kind of beers they've been drinking over the years, because God forbid we're not going to remember.
Serious.
We're not going to remember what they taste like. That's what's so cool about videos, that we can watch it again.
Exactly. And, I think as long as you're doing it as your own personal journal and not necessarily a competition, like if you're doing it as a competition, like, oh my God, I've got to have the most tries, or I have to have the most this or the most that, then you're starting to lose sight of it. And one of the things on the show that we do is we just do beers that we like, things that we think are kind of neat and kind of cool. It's, we don't really ever say, I don't think we've ever selected a beer,
find a beer
just for the show. I don't think we've ever done that. We've been like, ooh, I want to try that. Let's get that for the show. And it frankly gives us an excuse to buy beers that more beer than we probably would otherwise put out the money for. So there's that. But, so it's a weird thing about being a beer geek. But I think we might also want to try, take a little bit of heat from this guy, and not maybe dial down the arrogance a little bit, and not, I know I'm very guilty of, he has, 5 a total of 6 taps, and he's got 5 of them of awesome rotating craft beer at any given time, and then he has that 1 tap of Dos Equis Amber that he has to keep, and every time someone orders a Dos Equis Amber, I feel personally insulted, and I want to go up to them and yell at them, and that's foolish of me. Yeah, that's being a douchebag.
Not everybody likes that stuff.
Yeah, that's being a douchebag. So I want to really work on not doing that kind of stuff. But okay. So we're talking about this guy who did eBay.
Yeah.
Well, my things might get a little easier because there's a bill in the Senate to help the post office out that would allow.
Oh yeah, that's right. So you
would allow us
be able to ship beer through the post office. Yeah.
Right.
I think at this point UPS is the best way to go, and FedEx will ship beer now too. I think it's filling out a form and showing you or 21 and all that stuff.
I don't know if I saw that. I heard a rumor that with, at least at first, because they're just passing the law, and all the law is really doing is allowing the post office the ability to make various decisions about what they can and cannot ship. So it doesn't mean that that's exactly the way it'll be. It just means that they will now have the decision to make it. And to increase a revenue stream. And I heard someone say, that it was only going to be for businesses, that individuals still could. But we don't really know that yet. So, but that's cool. At least, that'll be something that might break down the barriers and might help the beer traders out there ship things, hopefully a little cheaper. And, kind of assist with some of that stuff. So, you know, that'll be cool. Again, spreading the beers across the country. So,
Yeah.
I think that's, you know, that's pretty much the most of the beer news for today. It's been a really busy beer news day. Been tweeting all over the place. So, just wanted to take a little time out and address some of these things and kind of have a conversation about it over a beer and enjoy.
So thank you for joining us on American Beer TV, and
Cool.
this is your beer news
For April 26th.
Yes,
All the news that's fit to drink.
that's right, baby. Get out there and drink craft beer.